It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on Habscast.
Hello, everyone. It was a great day. Would have been a great day to not watch hockey, but here's the last beer, last cracked beer to start a podcast of the season. Montreal Canadian season has come to an end, folks. Um, Safe to say, disappointing once again. Uh, wow. I don't know. Last game. Well, the game in Buffalo was pretty bad, but then last game bad. This one might even take the cake over, like, just how they didn't seem to be motivated whatsoever. Like, it was horrible passing. They didn't seem to have any jump. The defense kind of sucked. It was just really, like, I'm going to rail a little bit on Marty tonight, but I really do hope that we don't see you know, all of the, well, Marty needs to be fired stuff. Like, let's not overreact to it. Okay. Yeah. I'm a little pissed off at Marty the last few games and tonight, but that does not mean no, that we should pile on and say, oh, he's got to be fired and this and that. He isn't going to be fired, folks. Okay. But I am going to rail on him a little bit here. Uh, First and foremost, not making any changes to a team that for three straight games was horrible. Like, you just, you've got these guys sitting here. I really feel for Brendan Gallagher. What a way. You can't even replace Joe 2 goals on the season Valeno for the last game of the year, or Alex Texier. You know, he's been freaking invisible the last few games. Now, would would Galley have not come out and given a good effort? Absolutely. You know that he would have been busting his ass tonight. And yeah, it's easy to say now, but it's not like these guys weren't out of the lineup. Like, Valeno didn't start the playoffs, right? So it's not like you can't take him out. He sat, I don't know, 15, 20 games this year, somewhere in between that. So, it's not like it's impossible that it would hurt his feelings or he's not used to it. He got freaking sat all season. Um, Not that I'm not saying, oh, well, the reason they lost is Joe Vallejo, and the reason, and if they'd had Galley in the lineup, they'd have won tonight. Like, no, like, okay, let's, Carolina was a better team. They were winning regardless, but at least, it seemed like Marty mailed it in the last few games, and he was more interested in trying to come up with coaching mantras, philosophies, than he was with actually doing something. You know, like, when you get this philosophical mumbo jumbo, like, you can't look at the mountain, you just gotta you gotta look at what's in front of you and stay present. Instead of making 3 or 4 changes in the lineup, like, give me the 3 or 4 changes in the lineup, then coming up with these friggin', you know, and then bounce forward. Well, what was Rob Brendamore's message to his players? Trounce their forwards. You know, like, that's what Marty should have been saying, to not bounce forward. He should have actually show some friggin' life here, guys. Like, after that first period, why wasn't there, guys? I'm gonna have a little. I'm going to pretend I'm Tony tonight and start with a long dissertation here. That, sorry, but I got to get this out of my system. Um, like, even Plato, you know, would have made changes for this friggin' game. You know, E- even Socrates would have known that. Well, no, but Marty's Mr. Friggin' Philosophy here a lot. Like, even Socrates would have seen that frickin' power play and said, okay, what is Alex Texier doing on here? Like Socrates never saw a hockey game in his life, but even Socrates would have figured that out. Said, "Geez, what's this bum doing on the I?" Well, not bum, but you know what I mean. Alex Texier, I went and had a look. Like that second power play was the worst power play unit I've seen in my entire lifetime in these playoffs. It was dreadful, and Marty never changed it. Never. Or Latowski. Is it Latowski that whoever? Both of them. Like Alex Texier has 0 goals in 70, zero power play goals and 1 assist in 70 friggin' games on the power play this year. 1 point in 70 games, and he could never be taken off. You couldn't get Josh Anderson out there to stand in front of the net, to friggin' actually drive to the net, actually stand in front of the goalie and screen him. No, it's got to be Alex Perimeter Texier doing his little loop-a-doo and slaff with his woo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. I called him slaffadaisical tonight. I got a new term to come up with him. Slaffadaisical. All right, my rant's over. Rick, calm me down.
I don't think I can, Grant. That was epic, to be honest with you. But there comes a time where a coach has to stop being a player's coach and he has to be an actual coach. And this is the part that bothered me. I know last year, he put a lot of faith in his team, and he tends to do that, and it's a good thing generally. But there comes a time where you got to put the hammer down and say, "Listen, guys, I know you want this. I know you want me to believe in you. I know you want to prove yourself, but it's not working. I got to get something different going here." And it was a time to be bold. Uh, you brought up, Gallagher. Yeah, there's a danger that Gallagher can't keep up with the pace of Carolina. I understand that. But the big issue is that you had a goaler across from you that is very, very shaky, in my opinion. There's a lot of, I won't say
Yeah.
there's a lot of times because Montreal didn't shoot very often at all, but there's a few saves and the few shots that Montreal did where I had my doubts that Anderson was really square and ready for the shot. Would it not have
Yep.
been great to have a Gallagher go to the front of the net and just make his life miserable a little bit? At least that, just that, right? Get him out of his game a little bit. This lineup was giving you nothing, and it's no, yeah, Texier. No, I know Doc had a few very very good games, but when he's not there, he's not there. Like there's times where come on, do something, please.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bodzuk. There's just a lot of guys that are okay, but really too polite. You needed some spark, something. Even if you would have put in Beck, like we suggested a few days ago, get a kid out of nowhere in there and put him in. Find something to rally. You know what? When I wouldn't have this thing, but when a team slumps sometimes and you put the second goaler, it's like everybody just gets refocused on the job at hand because it's our second goaler. It's the same idea where you bring in a different guy that you're not used to seeing, and it gets everybody refocused because it changes the makeup of the team. Nothing changed. Not even the lines changed very much. So after a while, I just, gosh, do something, Marty. Switch it up. Stop putting so much faith in your players and coach and say, no, it's enough. We got to do something different now.
Okay, Blain, thanks for coming. You got to go, I guess. Have a good night.
Yeah. Um,
We'll let you
well,
talk.
we're if we're going on with Saint Louis and we're talking philosophers, I'm going to go with Nietzsche and his will to power.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
one of his philosophical points.
Nietzsche.
Because I did go to college. I've got a university degree. Believe it
I
or
can,
not, I read stuff.
I can
Um,
tell.
he's got a point about willing yourself to power, about it's about nature itself taking over. He didn't will his team to put that effort in like that. Instead of just giving back slaps and saying how proud he is of these guys, which 100% absolutely correct and deserved. Like these guys, despite this disappointing finish, had a great year. Um, they could have done more in this before coming into this game. Some changes, personnel wise, great and all, but it was that the mental approach to the game, and that's where I think he is still learning how to provide that to these guys. and he didn't provide them that will to power. You saw it throughout the game. Like as soon as that goal, the first goal was allowed, and then reviewed and still allowed somehow. I mean, coin flip, yeah, sure. Goalie interference, not goalie interference, whatever. Once it was allowed, you kind of saw the team kind of slump a little bit because they started off looking okay, better than they had recently, and then that happened, and the whole period just fell apart, and we didn't see them really push back until the third. But by then, the game situation, the pushback, it's more Carolina sitting on their heels and just kind of waiting for them to come to them now. So they provided that space for Montreal to
Yeah.
really take advantage. So that's what I was disappointed with. Losing the game is one thing, but losing a game the way they did in an elimination game, that's what I just did not like.
Right.
You could be tired. 100% they're tired. You could see it.
Yeah.
They're on their heels. They're standing up a little bit straighter. The puck's bouncing over their sticks. Like all these little things, all the bounces went against them because they didn't put that extra effort in. They couldn't do it because they were a little tired. That's fine, but tired or not, you want to see them falling over themselves to try. I didn't see that very much except for a few people.
Yeah. Jermaine saying, I sent you a couple of emails. Not sure if you saw them. No, not yet, Jermaine, but I'm glad you showed up, Brian, for the last one here. I'm so damn proud of this Habs team. What an effort from this young team during the playoffs. Yes, we're going to rail for a few more minutes here, and then we're going to bring out the bouquets. Yeah, that's right. But, full marks to Carolina. They're a very disciplined team. They make it so that the other team, I don't know, doesn't get that riled up. Montreal didn't seem to get riled up. You don't wake the sleeping giant type thing, like Slav remains slackadaisical there. They didn't really. Not a lot you could get pissed off at. I'm going to be cheering for them, by the way, in the final. I don't know how much of it I'm going to watch because I find I've watched 2 Carolina series now this playoff, and I'm not sure that I've enjoyed 2 rounds of playoff hockey less than the Ottawa series and this series. Like it was hard to get through these games. I couldn't wait for the podcast to start. Like I was very, very seriously considering starting the podcast after the second period. Or going for a root canal or something. Other than watching this friggin' game. But they deserve credit. They're good, but man, oh man, when you make like Eric Robertson look like Mikko Rantanen, like they were so disappointing those last 3 games. My goodness, it was just this is not the same team that we saw all year. I don't know how it could have just fallen apart so drastically. It was yet Newhook, the puck, I don't know what the height limit is for sticks, but he should look into getting as tall a friggin' blade as he can get because the puck comes right to him in front of the net and it bounces over. He gets it in his zone, it bounces over. Evans with that stupid how could he not get the puck around Hull there? Like this just happened over and over again. And and then he gets rewarded. He gets, well, if you want to call it reward, Evans is having a shitty game. And what's Marty's, brainstorm? Well, I'll give him Caulfield and Slav as line mates for playing like crap, instead of like promoting Anderson, who's been great all friggin' series, all playoffs, and this, I don't know how many times there was room to shoot the puck and how it ended up being blocked. It just mystified me. Like it was over and over again. I seriously was wondering, you know, did Carolina somehow get the technology to have a holographed image of Freddie Anderson on each of the defensemen? Because I swear to God, the Habs forward sometimes thought like, "Oh, that must be Anderson. I'm going to shoot it at him." It just I couldn't believe how many times there were blocked shots when like how it happened. Like they didn't even have to move. It was like, "Oh, we're just going to shoot it right at the defenseman instead of friggin' making a little extra move or shooting it a little to the left or right or." They did deserve some credit, but I couldn't believe how often they just couldn't get it through when it just like what's going on here? Carolina is good, but Montreal made them look good, Rick, too.
Exactly. They look like a team that really felt really quickly that they were defeated, and they were just trying to get the puck out of the way of danger and saying, I'm not going to be responsible for a mistake. I'm just going to bang it out of the boards, bang it somewhere, often though at the worst possible spot. Same thing when they had the puck on their stick. We're feeling the pressure. We have no chance to move. I'm just going to try to get a shot out. It'll look like I'm making an effort, which maybe I am, but it's kind of pointless because I have no openings. I have no place to go. I'm not moving my feet. Every time they corralled the pass, it was always sloppy and hard. They were grabbing that stick so hard and then puck handling like they were like trying to hammer a nail or something, like trying to go. And uh, that to me was one of the big issues. They looked like they were just mentally defeated, and they just didn't want to be the one making a mistake that was obvious. And that's why they're not moving. That's why they were playing, to me, paralyzed. Just
Yeah,
try not to make a mistake. And another thing too that frustrated me a little bit with the forwards, they were not moving their feet defensively. I don't know. I never saw this as often where the defensemen of the Habs were behind the net looking for a breakout option, and there was none. And they're holding on forever. I never seen it so often as I did tonight. I think Matheson at one point had the puck for almost 25 seconds behind the net, just looking around like, is anybody going to be available? And then at one
And they end up
point, he
ribbing
just
it.
bangs it to yeah,
yeah,
to the opponent. But I'm like,
Yeah.
and everybody, of course, will blame Matheson. But I was like, but where is any of the forwards? There's nobody to make a pass to.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't see
yeah.
anybody at all.
Puck support was poor in the last few
Awful.
games. I found. Go ahead, Blaine.
So, yeah, it just we'll get back to the energy thing. I mean, yes, their tank seemed empty, and no, it is not an excuse. You're in the playoffs. You have to find a way and find something to get there. I don't know if it's because they had injuries. Like you look at Slavkovsky, and he looked like a different player in the last
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 games.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's got a major injury. Suzuki looked off in this series. So did he have something? I don't know. I would not be surprised to find out that several players were playing with
Oh yeah.
pretty solid injuries. Like we all know about Dobson and his thumb. There's got to be more.
Yeah.
It piles up, right? And I mean, there there is some good stuff out of this playoff run. We'll get into. I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit later, but to really harp on what was missing, it's it's not necessarily that Marty did a bad job or we're shitting on him or he does not deserve to be fired. He deserves another few more years.
Oh yeah.
He's just he's never coached a team at this level of the playoffs before, and he's still learning. Yeah, they're a young team, but this is where youth got taken advantage of. You've got an experienced team who play a system with exact precision. They've been doing it for 8, 9 years, and that team has been together for so long,
yeah,
and they've lost in the Eastern Conference Finals what 4 times before this. It took them time to learn. They learned what they needed to do, and they did it. Like they're a good
yeah.
team. It's not all because Montreal messed up. Like Montreal
No,
made mistakes from youth and inexperience and fatigue and all of that, but they're also a good team on the other side.
yeah. I like let's be honest here. Yeah, they are a solid team. I don't know what's going to happen in the final. Like because really Carolina had a pretty
Easy, very
easy
easy. Yeah.
friggin', like when you compare what Vegas had to do and what Vegas did, like in sweeping Colorado, right? Um, and but Ottawa didn't give him a hell of a, you know, Philly definitely didn't, and Montreal, you know, like I don't know if Montreal would have beat any playoff team, maybe even a lot of non-playoff teams, the way they played in that series. Honestly, uh, yeah, I know I'm not. That's not giving a lot of credit to Carolina, but Montreal, you know, Montreal was piss poor the last 4 games. I'm sorry, they we keep get we keep going back to the Strait of Hormuz, but man, oh man, they better get that blockade done before the fall, or Montreal might get off to a slow start because they're still going to be out of gas. All right, Rick or Blain, you got
One more thing. Yeah, they look tired. Yeah, they were a little bit off,
mm,
but I think that points to what uh, Hughes is going to have to do over the summer. And it's not just adding, more skill. They need a little bit more size. The bigger players in the playoffs, it takes it takes more to wear them down. So if
yeah.
they would have had a couple more guys who are say 6'1", 6'2", a little bit heavier, who played a little bit heavier, it would take more to wear the team down. Um, Unfortunately, that's not the case this year, and I think that's something they're going to learn from, and
Well,
it's going to be addressed.
no, it's a good point, and Rick, I'll just add, like, you know, I think if they'd have had, for instance, and this was one of the guys that I thought the Canadians should have gone after was Michael McCarron. Bring back McCarron. He had a really solid playoff with Minnesota, by the way. But Michael McCarron in the lineup the last 6 weeks instead of, say, Alex Texier, like I think it would have made a big, especially by the third round, would have made a big difference. Um, I hope the way this ended that and maybe it's a good thing that they got trounced like they did in this round, because uh, my hope is that Hughes is going to say, "Oh, okay, we're really not that close yet. We have to make some fairly significant changes here to the roster if we want to be able to not only maybe win the cup but even get to the cup final."
Going to
Rick?
be very important to find that mix of players. Again, its size, as you mentioned so well, is really important. That center line of Suzuki, Evans, Dano, and whoever the hell you put in center. I know. And I'm sorry to say, but even Doc, big guy, and once every 5, 6 games, he kind of gets a little bit of anger, but he doesn't play
That's
like he's
all.
6'3". To me, it's like I don't mind him, but it's not consistent enough to me for my taste. It's got to be a little bit more often. It's the famous Scotty Bowman expression, right? I'd rather have you play at 90%, 100% of the time than have you play 61 game and 100 the next game. It's like I can't work with that.
Right,
Um,
right.
so getting
And
that mix is going to be important, and also and also when you talk about size, I think it also refers to a little bit more jam. There's a lot of guys
Yeah.
with the Habs that are very polite when they play, very respectful, very kind, And you look at and I'm not saying Carolina were dirty at all. I'm not saying they were vicious. It's not. But they were better at stretching the rules a little bit. Crash the net, see what happens. Yeah, maybe we're going to get caught, but the refs don't like to call too many things
mm,
in the playoffs, so we're going to get away with it 3 times out of 4. The hooking is the same thing. It's worth it. The NHL makes it worth it. Habs didn't have anybody who did that. Nobody bothered the goaltender too much. Nobody gave a little extra slash to try to draw a penalty.
yeah,
Nobody hooked too much. Everybody is really, well, not everybody, but too many players are too polite in this team. So you're going to need a little bit of trouble, a little bit of you're gonna need a jerk. I don't know how else to say it, but you're gonna need a jerk or two in that lineup to
Yeah,
bring that.
Michael McCarron. I'll
Yeah,
bring it up again.
I'll take him
That type of
anytime,
player.
anytime, anytime.
Yeah, yeah. No, where was the pushback tonight? Like it wasn't there. It was not
No,
there. They've got to. And I think I don't know. s- Signing Texier to that extension and like there's too many like him. Uh, like you mentioned Doc, you mentioned, and there's Texier.
Yeah,
They'll have a great game or a really good game, and you're like, oh, okay, that's why they're in the lineup. Then they'll have two or three where why are they in the lineup?
yeah.
Like Doc could have been out easily have been a scratch tonight the way he's been playing. Texier, um, you know, Valeno kind of slowed down as it went along there. By the way, have you ever like when a when Nick Ehlers gets high sticked, you know, they're in front of him, looking at him. Oh, is there blood? Is there blood? Is there blood? Like for about 3 minutes, and then they go, oh, we'll call the major and we'll look at it. Valeno gets high sticked, and the ref he looked for about a quarter of a second, didn't
I
wait to see
know,
if there was blood or anything. Just oh, no, no, it's only 2 minutes. Like they always, they look and is there blood? The guy didn't even look to. It must have been Garrett Rank because, of course, like what a fitting way to end the season with Garrett Rank once
I
again
know.
being, Blain seems to have disappeared here with Garrett Rank for the final game, and of course, uh, quick as a cat to just not even look to see if Valeno's bleeding. That just oh no, it's only two, and the interference call. Oh no, or oh that's a goal, and there'll have to be conclusive evidence, and then them taking 45 seconds to look at that. To me, reckon of course I've got my red, blue, and white glasses on here, but that looked like interference to me. Like, you know, the goalie, the pad got moved back. He couldn't get his stick over. Um, I've seen that called many, many times that that's goalie interference. And even if, okay, it was a gray area, but to take 45 seconds and that's it to look at it when to me it was very, very questionable one
Yeah,
way or the other. At worst, it was 50-50 for them to just in 45 seconds make that decision. Didn't rest well with me, especially when a team has to challenge, and then they're also going to be penalized for it. You got to make damn sure that you're getting that call right. And to me, they rushed it just like they did the Valeno high sticking call. You know, like sometimes they'll wait about 3 minutes for the guy to bleed. Like, is he bleeding? Is he bleeding? They'll be looking at him. With Valeno, it was like, no, 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 oh, don't see
I didn't
blood
see anything.
enough. Yeah, yeah. It was crazy. Anyway, your thoughts on those decisions tonight?
It's the same thing as I was saying before about being a little bit of a jerk sometimes. Maybe, maybe Marty has to not go to the media because that doesn't turn out very good for anybody. The refs always get back to you, but maybe,
Yeah,
talk to them between plays, make a little bit of a stink, ask to talk, make a little face, lay the groundwork. You'll find that if you make a lot of noise and you complain a little off in between plays, you get maybe the officials being a little bit more concerned, giving you a little bit of extra time or maybe giving you a little break here and there. Uh,
yeah,
but part of it is making that noise, and Marty St. Louis, just like his players, are very polite. Maybe it's time for Marty sometimes to make a little bit of whine a little bit,
yeah.
lay the groundwork.
Did you hear what I was saying there, Invisible Man?
no, I had lost my internet connection, so
Oh, okay, okay. I just, you know, they took 45 seconds to look at the goalie interference when, to me, it was not an easy call to make. Like
No.
I would have looked at it for more than 45 seconds, considering that, first goal of the game, important, and then Montreal has to challenge, and they're going to go on a friggin' penalty kill right after if they don't agree with the call. 45 seconds was hasty for me, especially when they take about 10 minutes for some of these calls that to me aren't any more, like it was 50-50, as you say. Well, if it's 50-50, spend more than 45 seconds, look at more than one angle. And then the Veleno high stick. Could you not? They spent about a quarter of a second looking at him to see if there was any blood and went to the box. Didn't, you know, all playoff, there's been like the refs right in his face. Are you bleeding? I'm going to, give you 3 minutes for the blood to start here. Follow him right to the bench before they make the call, or even say, oh, we'll call it a 5 minute and then review or whatever. But it was split second. Nope, it's 2 minutes. Like he knew for sure that Veleno wasn't bleeding without even looking at him. Like, anyway, Garrett Rank, fitting that Montreal got him about 10 times in the playoffs, and that he was the one of the officials for the last game of the season. Just perfect.
The officiating in these playoffs has been horrendous. It's not, and to be clear, it's not just the Canadians here. Carolina's suffered through it. Every team in the playoffs has suffered through it. It has been fucking bad.
Yeah.
Pierre LeBrun during the game posted on X that he noted he's got an observation that he wouldn't challenge any goalie interference calls. The league doesn't want to overturn goals. That's the base sentiment. Evidence has to be overwhelming, so don't risk it. So what the fuck is that? Like, the goalies are going to get run. We're not going to overturn the goal. So now what? Goalies are going to just sharpen their fucking blades and stab guys when they come in. They have to defend themselves somehow.
Yeah. So like that'd be like NFL, the NFL wanting more sacks. So, don't rushing the passer. We won't call those because we want more sacks, more excitement in the game.
I'm all for going to the net, playing hard, heavy hockey, but if you're running into goalies without being pushed in or pushed in any way, or you've got a free lane. I mean, how many times was Dobesh run in these playoffs? Like, just clear cut, fucking ran over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, goalies are going to start to defend themselves, and they're not going to like it. The league is going to hate when goalies start actually throwing blocker punches and cross checks and stuff.
Right.
Billy Smithing the shit out of people.
Well,
that's where we're going to. If the league's not going to make these calls, you think Vegas's goaltenders are not going to start hacking away? The league's not going to call them on shit because it's Vegas. They want them in this.
Well,
so
he got run over there that one time, and some people, embellishment. Yeah, well, you try getting run over when you don't see a guy coming through. But the one time they called it goalie interference on him, it was in this game when he freaking body checked. When he body checks friggin' Svechnikov. Like, there were 6 other instances when it was more goalie interference than the one that they freaking end up calling, where he actually schmucks Svechnikov, and I guess we'll call this one. And like I said, well, I wish it would have been a makeup call on a penalty instead of on a freaking interference call, a goal that they allowed. Yeah, it was an even up call for them freaking giving Carolina the goal instead of it being for another penalty. But anyway, that's why they lost tonight, the refereeing. Yeah, other than that, the Habs Habs were all over them. Right, Rick? I don't know. Am I fuzzy?
Yeah.
Larry? I don't know why. I'm going to come out and come back in. Rick, you take it away for a minute.
All right. But I think also, Blain, and I was texting to a buddy of mine during the game, and I think we had talked about in the past, there's going to have to be some adjustments on the makeup of Montreal's defense as a whole. I think we're learning that you could only go so far with both Carrier and Hudson playing D with 6 guys. and the other two of the other ones, which are Dobson and Matheson, are not very physical either. So I think there's going to have to be, and I hate to say it, but I think they're going to have to get Reinbacher in there, yes, because he does have that size. But I think maybe it's time to consider moving on from Carrier and getting
Oh,
somebody else at right D that's a little bit vicious, a little bit. No, I want to see a guy that's
Yeah,
a bit of a maniac there too. And I suggested this name as a short term stopgap, maybe as your sixth defenseman. He's a free
Scott
agent,
Stevens. Oh,
maybe a Radko Gudas for one
White
more
Cloud.
year if he's
who?
available. I'm talking about guys that you
Yeah.
could be had for free. I'm talking about UFAs right now only.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Just because I know
Truba.
that they're available.
you,
Truba, if
you
he
know,
wants to come, but I think his wife being a doctor is makes that impossible. He won't come to Canada for that reason.
especially Quebec.
Even especially Quebec, where she really can't do
Yeah.
much, or even
Good luck speaking French.
Vincent.
Yeah.
They are named right. The defenseman from who played for
I know
a
who.
few teams. Who?
Rick, Mike McCarron.
Better play defense, maybe.
I'm kidding, obviously. Yeah.
No, but they do
But
need, like I said earlier, they do need some size. They do need some
yeah,
jam. Having a mobile defense is great, but they need to balance it out a little bit. I agree.
Yeah.
Reinbacher, if he comes into camp healthy, he plays with a little bit of jam. That's
Oh,
great.
come on.
But they need more than that. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to find something somewhere, a trade, a signing, but a right-handed jack eye would be ideal. But we're we don't have that. So
Yeah.
they need to find it somewhere, and they need that up front as well.
Our buddy, our flyer buddy says, I'm at Disney World, so I didn't watch. Great year. Well, you missed a Mickey Mouse effort from the Habs tonight,
Ooh,
Gregory. But thanks
fitting
for.
wearing those ears on you. Look at the ears on you. Oh,
Woo. Yeah,
I
apologies
feel kind
for.
of goofy. Oh,
Yeah, wow, that's a good impersonation of something. Um,
well,
I apologies for not being fuzzy anymore and getting to see this face clear, but I uh, I don't like looking fuzzy. Donnie McCaskill, lots to digest. Yes, thanks, Don. Hey, and everybody all year for your donations. You've been went over and above supporting the Habs cast, and we're not done here. Rick, my chief scout there, buddy. You've got a full month here now, almost to get your nose to the grindstone on,
yes,
and
sir.
also, Blain, I want your contributions. We're going to start putting stuff up on my Patreon page. All of you people that have been still subscribing and not been getting any content, I apologize, but you are going to get a load of stuff over the next month for hanging in there as monthly Patreon members. Because I'm going to put a pile of stuff on my Havscast Patreon page. I'd love some contributions from both of you if that's possible, and
Yes, sir.
we'll see if we can't get a few more subscribers on there, and maybe I can even throw a few bucks your way if and I'll get your help as far as getting rankings done and stuff. Hey,
Absolutely.
hey, I didn't need that. I didn't need that reaction there, Sailor. I saw that. Um, Kyle, I said maybe some money. Thanks, Grant, Rick, and Blaine for the great year and your great insight. Love this team. Thank you for the 13.99 donation, Kyle. He's one of those ones that has to give the 99. I don't know if he's a Gretzky fan or whatever, but um, Germain
Thank you, sir.
Benoit with another 10, and he gifted 5 more subscriptions. He's been the subscription gifter this year, and I really appreciate you coming back around. By the way, Brian was in a car accident a while back, and so he was out of action for a bit. But nice to have him back. Uh, I had Liam on yesterday to talk about, of course, the tragedy, and I wouldn't mind maybe somebody had mentioned here, they could have used a player like Claude in the lineup. this playoff, and that you know, no truer words need to be said. You talk about having an agitator in there, but
Oh,
Rick, your thoughts on the passing of Claude Lemieux?
boy, mental health, boys. We got to take care of it for reasons like this. And we had heard that he had been struggling through a lot of things, and in recent years, and there was he had been open a little bit about it at least. It is absolutely gut wrenching. He's so young, by all accounts. You know, maybe not a kind of guy that you loved on the ice all the time, especially if he didn't play for your team. But it seems like everybody said off the ice he was just the best guy in the world. Really, really kind, very, very polite to everybody, and very respectful. Um, no, I'll say the
Yeah.
usual. And just for people who don't know, you know, I work at the Douglas Hospital, which is a psychiatric hospital and research center, and that's what we study. We study the brain, and we study suicide and depression. So it is a cause that's near and dear to my heart. But boy, there's help out there. So please, if you need it, reach out, and you know, be aware, and keep attention to people around you that you think might need it. And as for Claude Lemieux, again, my heart goes out to his friends and family, and it's just so sad that that at a young age this happened.
By the way, I just checked there, Germain. Um, you probably sent emails to my Habs cast, and that is no longer functioning. I'm surprised that it didn't bounce back to you, but please um, send those emails to my other email, and I will type that in here for you. Sorry to change the subject like that. Yeah, Rick, that's so well said. Um, you know, I got an email and it was saying something about Claude Lemieux, and you know, it was in French, and I got it from the club, and I thought, you know, it was probably something like you know, hired on as an ambassador or something after his trip
Mhm,
to Montreal and everything, and then reading it, and it just floored me that, you know, you don't
mhm,
having just carried the torch, you know, a few days earlier, and it just shocking, and then to discover that he ended his own life just made it all the more tragic and hard to understand for. It's always difficult to understand, especially someone, you know, with family and stuff. You wonder how tortured that he must have been to have to make that decision. And I just hope that, you know, that getting to carry that torch, that was kind of in his thoughts when he made this fateful decision, and that he was somehow at peace with himself with when he when he passed away. Blaine, what are your thoughts on Claude?
I was lucky enough to meet him a few times. I mean, I grew up
well,
watching him, and he was a hero even when he left the Montreal. And then I got to meet him a bunch of times over the years. Such a nice, quiet, he's a soft-spoken individual for somebody that with such a big persona in hockey.
yeah.
He was always soft-spoken, polite, giving, uh, happy, projecting. But as somebody who suffers from PTSD himself, in which me, I understand how the face we project out is not always the real you. And in this case, Claude, he had demons of his own that just took over. So I feel terrible for the family. I can't imagine what they're going to have to deal with now, losing that. But in my line of work, I've lost a lot of friends doing this, and to this kind of issue. So if anyone out there is even contemplating this, reach out to your wingers, reach out to your friends, check in on them. But
Yeah.
there's not necessarily any given sign. So if you yourself have any thoughts or you think someone does. In North America, you can call 988. That's the suicide crisis helpline. Check in with them. They have resources that can help you out. And if you're thinking about it, just find somebody to talk to, because sometimes that's enough. That's all you really need, is someone to talk to who understands the pain that you're going through, because this is a decision that is final, and no family member wants to lose somebody to this kind of thing ever. So
No.
thoughts and my prayers go out to his family and friends. I feel terrible for them, and I honestly just wish this didn't happen.
Yeah. Well said. I couldn't agree more. Well, somebody's saying, well, do you think this might mean the end of the torch carrying?
No,
Absolutely not. I don't
No.
see. You know, you can't blame. You can't. I hope nobody's blaming it on that. You know, like I know people have said, oh well, it brought back all memories from. I doubt very much that he decided to end his life because of his hockey career. Like that doesn't really, it goes beyond that. Like we don't know. You can speculate all you want, but that's really reaching. And for anyone that has kind of gone there, we're saying, oh well, it's because if he hadn't carried the torch, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. But I don't
no.
see how you can match one with the other. And in fact, like I say, there's lots of pictures circulating, like him with Sergio, him with Chris Nyland, getting to see all of these guys one last time and stuff. And I prefer to look at it from the aspect, whatever was going through Claude's life, that he was at peace with what he did, and that I'm glad he got this last send off from the club. As tragic as it is, I prefer to look at it from the positive in that regard, Rick.
I think that's the only thing you could do at this point, right? It's just a hope that there's peace somewhere in him in the last little bit. I had read that he had part of it was, just leaving the game of hockey was difficult for him. But these things often have multiple issues, and we're finding out
Sure.
that there's a lot of molecular issues with the brain for people who are more depressed or more prone to suicide, and there's often a physical reaction within the brain that happens. Somebody said CT, very possible that's a factor too. Could have just been, life got hard for him for whatever reason that we're never going to find out about.
Right.
Regrets in the past, difficulty in his life that we're not aware of, stuff that he's struggling with. It's often it's not. I mean, unless you're talking about like Blain, somebody in the forces that maybe has a PTSD because of an event specific. It does happen, of course, but for a lot of people, it's more of a mix of a lot of difficulties that really become overwhelming. And a colleague of mine said it best, I think, who studied suicide and depression all his life, and he says, people say sometimes suicide is a choice, but for the person who does it, it's really the absence of choice that makes
Yeah.
them do something like that, or at least the impression that there's an absence of choice. Not really that there is, but the impression that there's an absence of choice.
Right.
So I can't imagine the hell that must have been going through his brain. And I hope, we got to just, while we can, for his family and for his memory, just give him as much love and respect as we can, and look out for each other, as you both said.
Well, Rick, we'll give you the last word on that, and some fantastic thoughts. And I'm glad that I got your take on this. Given
Too.
your job and your experiences
Thank you.
With the whole subject.
Thank you.
Blain, you want to get going pretty soon here, my friend. Let's just talk quickly movies to share here. Let's move on to the, you know,
Hockey.
yeah, this is going to be what we focus on here now. The draft, free agency, trades, you know, um, movies to share says Grant, the following three players are all UFAs. Marchment, McCarron, Toropchenko. I want all three. Yeah, that'd be a nice line. uh Toropchenko, of course, was we did a list. We did a show there, of course, or
Yes.
what are your players that you would like? And two of the main guys I had Murphy on defense, McCarron, Toropchenko. They were all at the top of my list, and
Ah.
so I don't disagree with with those three. If they added McCarron and Toropchenko, I'd have no issue with that. Mind you, they'd have to be getting rid of some guys, though. Then
That's it. That's it.
there is that
Yeah.
problem, Blaine. Who would you say if you were to, who might Hughes say, okay, we're gonna target in free agency? The Habs don't have a habit of doing this. I don't know. They've already got like too many contracts. Do you think they go free agent route, or do you think it'll be more like a trade for a key top six piece, or maybe both?
I think it's more going to be trade because they've got a ton of
Yeah.
roster players that they can move
Yeah.
in a package deal. They've got all kinds of prospects, draft picks. I personally would love to see Toropchenko in a Habs jersey.
Me too.
Add another Russian to the mix so that kind of helps Demidov a little bit.
Yeah.
And adds a ton of size. He's physical. But you also look at what they have in the system. They have Jackeye on his way up. Thorpe is on his way up. I think
Yeah.
Florian Jackeye is probably going to be NHL ready by next year.
Close.
Or he's going to be pushing. He's knocking on that door. So they have options in-house. They have the assets to make deals, especially like bottom six kind of deals. But yeah, they definitely do need to add to the top six as well. And they have the assets for that as well.
Do you extend Anderson this offseason?
It depends on how much he wants, how much term, how much money. You don't want to
Sure.
give him too much of either. As useful as he is in the playoffs, he's basically a fourth liner for most of the year. And you want to keep a guy like that around, but not for, maybe at 4.5 for 4 years, 3-4 years. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's looking for 6 over, say, 5 or more, probably not. Because of those guys that you have coming up, because you have those options.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Do you think? Well, Anderson, that's a tough one. I think you do try to side. I have a
Yeah,
feeling that he wants to
try.
stay. I have a feeling that he won't ask for the moon here, and that he loves Montreal, and lots of guys have taken the hometown discount here so far, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
uh, you know, old man's a huge Habs fan. He's going to be pushing him. Come on, sign that deal. Uh, mind
Term's
you,
going
he
to be
could.
the issue there.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, he hasn't lost a kilometer on his speed, right? He's what, 32?
Yeah.
Like I'd look at a 3-year deal, and
Yeah.
if he wants something like 5, then 5 or 6, that might be a little much. But again, it would depend on AAV as well, then, right? Like if he wants 4 years at 4 million or something like that,
Sure.
sure, absolutely. Um, okay, Blaine. Look, I'd like to keep talking with you, but I think you probably want to get going, right?
Yeah, I do end up. Even though it's the weekend, I got to go to work tomorrow morning. So
Okay. All right.
unfortunately,
Well,
I was
Well,
kind of
that's too
hoping
bad.
I'd be a little bit happier going into work tomorrow, but I guess I'm just going to have to take that frustration out on the
Yeah.
people that I'm going to be tormenting tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank goodness I'm not going to be there. That's all I can say. All right.
right.
Well, have fun with your tormenting, and hey, we're gonna keep. I'm gonna try to get you on for some hockey talk on the draft and stuff over the next few weeks, and have you on um, as Rick's assistant, chief scout. Okay,
We'll do a Marty Lapointe Bromov kind of partnership there. We're gonna do it
that's right.
like the
Oh
Habs
boy.
do it.
Co-chief scout Blain Podfat. There,
I like
I
it.
just yeah, I just anointed you. Okay, is that cool? All right. See, that's as a
Thank you,
favor to
Blake.
all of the people that he was going to torment tomorrow. You're welcome. He's gonna be a little happier now.
I'm going to be meaner now. Just cause.
Okay, my friend.
Thank you, Blake.
Have th- great season. Thanks for coming out all year, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
Great. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So, new internet, new laptop. It seemed to. There hasn't been too many. Have I
Oh,
frozen? No.
nope. Nope, not at all.
Woohoo! I even
That's
have a
great.
few windows open. That's good. That's good. Um, I don't know. Do we want to do a 3 stars of the? Ew,
Oh boy. I thought of it, but it was really hard. I was
yeah,
thinking, well, as the Habs equipment manager did a good job tonight, maybe he could get stuff. I don't know.
I Plato.
No, I have
Yeah.
some names, but I got I could throw my hat in the ring, and I came up with three names for tonight there.
Did you?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, uh,
Well, let's just
yeah, please, yes.
put this up here. The Cunningham's Pub 3 stars of the game. Cunningham's Pub is, of course, in St. Anne de Bellevue. The best wings of Montreal, folks. Jimmy was nice enough to sponsor for a couple of games. And you know what? Out of the goodness of my heart, I'm giving him a little extra here for nothing. A little, just because he's been kind enough to support us here with the 3 stars of the game. So Jimmy, this one and the last one are on me, but thank you so much for the support. Go check them out there at, I think they're on St. Anne Street in St. Anne de Bellevue. I am going to make a point of getting out there probably this summer for a visit. So, anyways, thank you to Cunningham's Pub for sponsoring the 3 stars of the game in this series. Go ahead, Rick. Who would be your 3 stars?
Yeah, I'll start off with my first star. It's gonna be Dobesh still. I know he let in 5 goals, but I don't care. He battled as far as he could. I don't think I'm giving him the blame for anything. And at worst, there's maybe a goal that he could have, maybe, but there's nothing egregious. So definitely Dobesh, my first star. Second one
Okay.
was Demidov. I mean, he was still moving his feet. He was still making plays. He made a few defensive mistakes, but only when the score got out of hand. And I think he was pushing for an opportunity. You do that when you need a goal. So I'm very much okay with the few cough ups that he did because it was coming from a place of trying to do something when there was nothing going on. And third star, he was still very consistent and didn't play too bad. Was Lane Hudson. He's still there. Again, a few cough ups here and there when he's trying to push the play because nothing else is going on. But there was very little forward support for the D. A lot of guys were out of position, so he was really left with trying stuff when there's nothing in the front of him as best he could. But he battled, and he deserves the third star. And no, honorable mention to Josh, but I think that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, great choices. My 3 stars. Uh, are going to be Cole Caulfield, third star, uh,
Yeah.
Nick Suzuki, second star, and Lane Hudson, first star for
Hey.
their incredible seasons. Um,
Hey.
I couldn't really pick three guys for the game. It's more of a three stars of the season. Um, I'm cheating here a little bit, but
Hey.
those three guys, hey, 50 goal season, first 50 goal season in forever since Stefan Richer, first 100-point season since Mats Naslund, and Lane Hudson, first star for setting an all-time defense record for assists in a year, playoffs and regular season included, more than Larry Robinson in an entire season. And Larry, if you'll remember, won a tied for the scoring lead and won the Conn Smythe one year
Incredible.
back in the 70s. Lane actually bettered Larry's record for most assists in the regular season and playoffs combined with 79 assists this year. That's
Wow.
just fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
we have to, you know, it's the end of the year here. We've got to focus on the positive now. I
Yep.
had my little rant about, Marty and the team and stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty damn proud of this,
For sure.
what this team accomplished this year. 9 playoff wins. You know, I keep thinking of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's been 24 years since they did that, and 18 or 19 playoff games, right?
Hey,
What a great
fantastic.
experience for this young
Yep.
group of average age of 25 to get 18, 19 games of more of playoff experience. All of these great contracts that they have, these the core guys signed to.
Yeah.
Um, I think it also means that other guys coming up can't ask for the moon because, hey, are they better than Nick Suzuki is right now, or Lane Hudson, or it's going to be hard to say, oh no, I want 12 million. I want 5 million more a year than Nick or Lane.
It's tough.
You know, so like when you've got guys signed to great deals, it helps with other salaries. And and the opposite was true on a team like Toronto, where they say, well, that guy's making a 10 million or 11 million. I want my cookies too. Like Nylander played hardball because, well, look, this guy's getting this guy, you know. So you can't do that. They can't do that in Montreal. Like Demidov's not going to be able to come in and say, well, I want 10 million right now. Like,
Yeah.
mm, you're not going to get it probably.
Mm.
I mean, he could if he was with Toronto or with Minnesota. When you look at Kaprizov getting 17 million, you know,
Wow.
if you were Demidov and you were on Minnesota, you could easily say, well, Frank, that guy's getting 17 million. I want 10 or I want 12 or whatever. And how could they argue it? Right. So
Mm.
it's, yeah, we're a little down in the dumps about tonight's game and the way the series ended. But man, when you sit back and think about, look at the big picture here and the future, you know, it's going to be fun over the next month. I've got some guys, and I know you do too, Rick, that you wouldn't mind the Habs picking up in the draft. Um, I know my personal favorite, and it's no secret. And I'll get to that in some future episodes here. I
Yeah.
don't think he's that far away from playing either.
Mm. No,
And
he's not.
that's also appealing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. But
Oh yes, yes. He's a good one.
yeah,
Great name. Great name. Hard. I
yeah,
don't. Not
poly
easy to sign autographs when you have a name like that, but I understand.
poly polysyllabic for sure. Yeah, so it's gonna be the next
A
month's
good
gonna
one, though.
be fun. So I hope people keep tuning in here because we're gonna have
Yeah.
some really good episodes. And of course, last summer we ended up having some really high views on a lot of our podcasts, in part because other guys stopped doing them, right? But I'm gonna keep trudging through here. I'm Habs 20, you know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months of the year. So when I say it's a daily Habs cast, you know, not far
Of
off.
course.
I'm gonna try to keep all you Habs junkies informed because I myself am a Habs junkie, just like you, Rick.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
And
my friend.
we love talking to people anyways. That we got great
Well,
listeners, so it makes it a lot of fun.
absolutely. What's how's your what do you got for time here? I'm gonna like this is a post-mortem on the year. I'm probably gonna go a while here.
Yeah. No,
Keep talking
I
to
think I'll let
people.
you go, Grant. I've been away
Okay,
since early this morning, so I'll probably call it a night. If
okay,
you'll indulge me for just a quick second, Grant, I just wanted to thank all the people on the chat and all our listeners and yourself, Grant. You mentioned it last episode, and it was really sweet of you to do that. This past week, we lost my father-in-law, Leonard Len McDonald. That's why I wasn't around for a little bit. One of the kindest, most decent men I know, fantastic family guy, and a Habs follower for over 70 years, over 80 years. I don't know, probably not over 80, but over 75 years he's been a Habs follower. Loves the
okay.
team, and I know he would have had a great. He loved listening to us. He was a big fan,
Oh yeah,
and
okay.
oh yeah, he. I mean, I would have loved to have you meet him, Grant. He would have loved to have spoken to you about 70s hockey. It's his passion.
Oh,
And he will be dearly missed. And I know a lot of people send their well wishes that are listening to us, and I can't thank you enough. It did mean a lot, and it meant a lot to my family and I.
okay. That's great, Rick. And yeah, you know, send your condolences. And
Thank you.
have there been arrangements already? Has it? What's the? Is there going to be a celebration of life or anything like that? Or
We're arranging that in the next few days,
okay,
and
okay,
we'll have something happening at some point. But again, thank you everyone. It
all
really
right,
means a lot.
okay.
Okay,
That's great, Rick. And have yourself a good get a good sleep in there, my friend.
thank you,
And
thank you,
I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. I didn't expect that email from you this morning or text saying, that you could come on. So it's truly appreciated.
thank
And
you.
as it turned out, it, I'm just darn glad that you were here for
Thanks
uh,
very much.
the last post game of this season. All right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it also.
Okay. Thank you, Rick.
Okay,
Bye.
take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Rick Springhetti. So a somber week for us. You know, the yeah, we're sad about the Habs losing tonight, but there's more important things in life, right? And um, what Rick's been through and what the Lemieux family's been through this week just kind of puts the sadness over the Habs losing in perspective. It's too bad, but a lot worse. You know, things could be a lot worse than losing a playoff series. So, um, still smoking. Have a beer on me, Grant. Thank you, my friend. Uh, hey, get there's a lot of comments on here. People want to hang in for a bit. I'll stay on here. You know, I know a lot of the TSN 1200 in Ottawa on the radio station whenever the Senators seasons end, they go pretty much all night taking phone calls and stuff. So I will, you know, as long as you folks want to keep weighing in, I'll keep going for a while here. Um, I do think that I will grab another beer though. So just give me a few minutes. This one's ended up getting warm. Uh, so I'm going to grab a couple of pints here and we'll keep jabbering away here for a bit. Okay. So I'll be right back. All right. Another beer ski. A little something to keep the chat going a little longer, Grant. Okay. Thank you, Kenny. Yeah. Let's let's you know, special occasion. It's the last post game of the year, so I'll keep her rolling for a while here. Finish that off. Get that one in the cozy. All right. So, so you see this here, Jermaine? That's my old recruits Gmail. You can get a hold of me there. The Habs cast one, Google Workspace is ridiculous just for having the Gmail, you know, habscast.ca or whatever email. It was costing me like $12 a month. I had to curb some overhead. um, Help pay for my laptop. I changed actually from Bell to Fido, which saved me about $60 $50 a month. And I actually got a new email server and or sorry, internet provider. We're trying something out here other than the big guys because they just keep soaking me too. So trimming the fat here a little bit going forward, but I'm really looking forward. I'm gonna get some things in place in the summer here and come back for year two of the Habs cast. Like in September, it'll be the start. It'll be the second year in September, but bigger and better. And I'm really going to be looking forward to next season. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and um, but hey, there is news happening all summer, and I'm going to be doing as many podcasts as possible, and certainly whenever there's any news, I'll be I'll be on here doing special podcasts, and we'll keep rolling. His family, McPhee and Screwland, would have been fitting for Game 6. Yeah. CTE, a possible factor. Yeah. In the end, the team needs to fill some holes, and if they had won the series of the Cup, it might have made management sit in their hands. Funny, it's Ken. It's funny how often, you know, I'll say something and I'll go back and look through these messages, and you'll have already said that exact thing or something similar. Uh, I'm assuming earlier on. So, you know, yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I said it like, you know, maybe it's best that they got swamped here just to let Hughes know, okay, not as close as, there's work to do. Not rest on their laurels. Uh, okay, I'm not going to get into the. We said our pieces about Claude and stuff. Um, Probably not going to. You know, let's kind of move on and focus on the hockey here. But I am reading some of your comments, and it's uh, there's some good stuff here. Uh, Sometimes I wonder if Montreal really learned something from their playoff loss to Washington last year. I think so. They made it 3 rounds, so you know, from 1 win to 9, that's 8. That's 8 better. If they can go from 9 to 16, that's 7 better, right? So let's hope so. Uh, Great interview a couple months ago with Chris Nyland. Knuckles gave him mad respect. Yeah, I did ask Knuckles um, if he could join Liam and I yesterday for the tribute that we did. By the way, go check that out if you get a chance. Liam had some great thoughts there. Um, Liam met him on Monday. He was at the Habs game, and him and Knuckles. There's a nice picture of the three of them, and yeah, it's uh, it's too bad. That's for sure. Um, Maybe Grant has taken care of the annoyance. Yeah, there was a yeah. We always get some trolls in here, right? Um, but yeah, I got rid of him. Braden Schneider, yeah, possibly, possibly. We look at Braden Schneider. Um, Demi is going to be an absolute stud. Yeah, that's for sure. Um, I think they'll keep Evans to know 1 more year on his deal, and probably gone will be 35. Uh, I can't see them. Yeah, Deneau's not going to be re-signed. Evans, we'll see. Yeah, well, what, 30 or what, 25 of the NHL head coaches have zero experience as coaching a champion? I mean, I don't know, Kevin. I mean, he just coached 19 games in a playoff, so uh, you know, he's got experience now. I mean, once upon a time, Scotty Bowman had zero experience coaching champion. So, you know, you got to start somewhere. I see Beck and Florian as good replacements for both of them going forward. That's why I think someone like Evan Sturdano could be available in the trade. It, yeah, yeah. I just found that it was a little redundant with those two, but yeah, I think they need a big center. A big physical center. They don't have that. Do you all think Marty benches big players because Marty was short? Mm, look how thick most NHL players are for the most part. Yeah. You think this team is developing faster than MSL is as a Stanley Cup caliber coach? Hmm. All right, guys. Well, I don't want to, I did say that I'm not going to really focus on the Fire Marty. You know, he's got to still keep evolving as a coach. I mean, I'm still learning. As a scout, you never stop learning, and nobody's perfect. And this series I think will be a good learning experience for him, and hopefully it moving forward in the future he takes some lessons from this and can keep improving as a coach. Hey, 5 straight years that the Habs have had improvements in point totals. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if next year it'll be 6 straight years. Um, he's a smart man. He's not full of himself. The players haven't. I don't think. The message isn't getting old yet. He keeps things. He keeps things pretty. Uh, it's not stayed. He offers fresh perspectives, and it's not. The message isn't getting lost. I don't think on the team. Um, let's have a quick look here at that stat line. I might have to just bear with me a sec here. I'll get these advertisers off here, sponsors. Carrier, by the way, I don't know that was maybe his worst game of the playoffs. I thought he was not very good tonight, -3, and it kind of showed. Just not a good game from him. But you look at that, -2, -2, -2, -2, -2, -2, -3, -3. the first uh, the first 8 or 9 guys there. Yeah. Um, hey, they won the faceoffs. Little things, eh? Didn't take much. They won the faceoff battle tonight, folks. Uh, yeah. Um, hits, 11 hits. 11 hits, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players with hits. 7. 7 players. My goodness. They don't have Dobish down for a hit. He had a hit. Svechnikov might have been the biggest hit of the game. They should have got Doby down. At least they got it up to a dozen. But that's unacceptable, folks. Your last game, season's on the line, and you throw 11 hits. Like, boy, oh boy, like, you know, I don't think teams tank, but they played like they were playing for the top pick in the draft there tonight. Disappointing. Uh, Suzuki 41% on draws. They won the draw battle. 53%. Hey, they won something. Habs Habs won the faceoffs. So there you go. But block shots, 3 block shots and 11 hits. That's a team that packed her in, folks. I mean, that's all you got to. When you have combined hits and block shots, 14, that's got to be a season low. It absolutely has to be, and that's pretty disappointing. Absolutely disappointing. Wow, but doesn't shock me. Next level hockey, specialists in hockey development, trusted by NHL prospects. Whether you're looking to elevate your shooting, skating, stick handling, or overall game, NLH is here to take your game to the next level. Visit them at nextlevelhockey.com and follow their Instagram at nextlevelhockey_ for daily tips, posts, and updates. If you or someone you know have young aspiring hockey players who want to elevate their game, trust Next Level Hockey to guide them forward. Next Level Hockey. It's in the name. Bonachère Caves, Eganville, Ontario, a private family owned business run by hockey fans. Open for the season, folks. I'm gonna get up for another tour this year. I've been through a few times. I just love the it's just so well organized, and the tour guides are fantastic, effervescent. A lot of them, students that they hire, college students that Chris hires for the summer. They're great, and Chris is great. Um, it's just you go there, and I guarantee you'll have a good time. Tickets are like $25 for adults and 15 for kids. That's it. You can't find a cheaper entertainment uh, tourist destination anywhere, I don't think. And I'm gonna be. I've got copies of my book, Valley Snapshots, that I'm gonna leave at the caves there probably next week. So you go there. And he's gonna pass them out for free. All right. This is a $40 hardcover, not hardcover, but glossy book that people that go there on a tour pay $25 or 15 for kids. They get a free copy of my book. Uh, so you're basically getting a free trip to Bonachère Caves. Check it out. BonachareCaves.com is their website. You'll be impressed. And do me a favor, if you do go and you pick up a book, just let them know. Let them know that you saw it here on Habscast, that Grant sent you. All right, I appreciate that. Oh, we got another donation come in here. What's this? $25. Oh, Don H. Thanks, Don. Thank you, Grant, for excellent playoff analysis of the Habs postseason. My wife and I have so enjoyed it. Bring on next season. Okay. Cool meeting you too, Don. Thanks for that quite generous donation. Is Mark, are you tuning in? By the way, it's weird not seeing Mark tonight. I mean, we saw a lot of each other last 2 days. He's been a prince, helping me get my internet, my new internet all coordinated and working. He did some work on my computer remotely, and he's just been a fantastic help for me the last couple days. If you're listening, watching, Mark, thank you so much for all of your tech support over the past few days as I try to get my new internet up and running smoothly. But I think there haven't been many jitters here today, have there? So it's a positive sign that things are going to this new internet provider is going to work just fine once we get all the all of the bugs ironed out. Arbor would have had a hit. Yeah, I know. There's people. There's always the Arbor crowd that comes out, and uh, having Arbor in the lineup, I don't think would have been the difference between winning and losing. But um, Struve's played fine. I don't really. Anyway, I don't think it would have made any difference having. It's not like a you know dirty play had to be addressed. I'm also not a big believer in this theory that you know Farber's in the lineup. Oh, nobody will ever do anything physical because they're afraid that Harbor might beat them up. I'm not. I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory, but yeah. Uh, hey, he's a good, solid 6'7" guy. I'd keep him. Uh, Solid locker room guy. Great, tremendous human being. A good bottom pairing 7 guy. Can come into your lineup in a heartbeat. Hey, he knows what he is. The people that say, "Oh well," you know, um, got to trade him off. Well, we'll see. Uh, yeah, Kirby. Hey, I've here's the deal with Kirby Doc. I think we have to give him another year for several reasons. There aren't many his type on the team now. When he's not playing physical, doesn't really matter that he's 6'4", and I get that. Uh, I still think we saw strides in his physical um, uh, fitness this year as opposed to the year before. I think he needs one more off season. And as a rule, when you're coming back from 2 serious knee injuries, it takes 2 years. It takes 2 years to be truly back. And I think uh, next year is the year where okay, there's no more excuses. There's no like he has to he has to put up or shut up next year. Now, look, he's an asset, okay? Right now, his asset his asset he's not a high value asset right now. So you just kind of just let him walk. Why? I don't think so. I think and I don't think he can ask for the moon. Don't forget the salary. The average salary is going to be over 4 million this off season. They can qualify him at 4 million if I'm not mistaken. So he's not going to be making more than the average salary in the league. He's uh he's a top 9 forward if and when he's playing okay. And I do think that next year you have to you have to give him that year. If he sucks, you can get rid of him at the trade deadline. If he's good, you can keep him. Look at maybe signing him to a longer deal. Uh, you know, but they get him at a decent price this year for next year. If he hope that his trade value goes up. You know, if Hage comes in, they get another guy in, and you think, okay, well, he's disposable, but he has a decent year next year. Well, you can get a decent return for him, but right now you can't really. So the NHL is all about assets and how you deal with how you try to get the maximum value out of your assets. He's an asset, not a huge asset right now. So do you get rid of him when he's not not a high value? I don't know. I don't know. It would bother me if you know second year recovery he gets in good shape this summer. They get rid of him, and he has that breakthrough year that he's been capable of having, uh, you know, somewhere else, and they got nothing for him. That would bother me a bit. So I think I think they're probably gonna qualify him 1 year deal. Say, look, you know, you're back here at 4 mil. Um, if you have a good year and everything, you know, you've fully recovered from your injury, you come in good shape, then we'll look at re-signing you. But if not, well, then you let them go one way or the other. So that's my take on it. But I understand people's, okay, had enough of them, move on. Uh, but at the end of the day, it's a business. These are assets. I think you try to handle. You try to, you don't do it from a personal point of view. You do it from a business point of view, and I don't think it'd be good business to, especially considering it cost them, you know, uh, a pretty good a pretty good asset in return in Romanov. And what was it, a second round pick as it turned out, or however the however the deal ended up. They traded Romanov for the 13th pick, and then they moved. Yeah, they traded that and a second, was it, or a third? So ended up being Romanov and a pick, right? Well, be nice to get something back for it down the road. Bottom six chipped in. Dobie saved the season again. Lots of good signs. Yeah. We ordered and needed sandpaper, but got feather dusters and poofs. Poofters. No more poofters. Australia, Australia, Australia. Can anybody name that? Just remember, Canes were in the Habs same position. They'll be back. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it'll be tough for him to say, oh, no, I want a lot more than Hudson. You know, he didn't win the Calder. Hudson did. At least they can use the excuse of opinions instead of the 14-year vet shot at the big leagues one day. Who watches this team anymore? What? Evans 3 more years. Yeah. Doesn't mean that he stays the 3 more years. His contracts is a bargain, so there's asset value there too. One time I hoped the Habs would get Jordan Stahl. He always impressed me. Oh yeah. Yeah. He was as a rookie GM and killing it. Wonder if he has an itch to go behind the bench. Or behind the beach, sorry. He's probably heading to the beach soon. Uh who's got the rookie GM named Hughes? I don't know. St. Louis is not going anywhere at the way he deals with media. Kelly would have tried. It's not worth losing Jack Ice and Marty can have time to develop. He hates Harbor. Yeah. Definitely will not be signing for 8 years. Don't think they can sign 8 anymore, can they? It has to be 7, or isn't that the new deal? Carry a good stopgap, but that experiment needs to end. Yeah. Can't have 2D under 6 feet on a contender. Carrier needs to go. Could be. The glass is still half full. Yeah, the beer's still half full, Jermaine. Brian. And I did see your post about your son there. I'd rather not. Eh, I know you had told me that before, but uh, my condolences as always, Brian. Um, with the changes in the CBA, this is the last year Demi can take advantage of that extra year. Yeah, okay. Still one more year? I thought they said that last year. Filterless. Yeah, got no filter. Marty's fault. Wouldn't have played Pronger in his prime. Okay, we get it there. You are venting filterless there. People laugh at my trade Hudson take. History doesn't show success without physicality. Now, trade 1 for lots or 5 for whatever. What is easier? Love Hudson, but what is more real? Practical. Well, it wouldn't be practical to trade Hudson. That much I can tell you, Emil. Two years into his career, you're judging that you're going to say what? Okay, I got. Oh, all right. I got. Looks like you put Rick to sleep. I got the message from John, and I got the 2 from Brian. Okay, I'll read those a little later. Where would you rank Jackal in order for this team compared to every other D on the roster? Oh, he's got to be number 1. Filterless Bears got to have Jackal number 1. Emil probably has him ahead uh, of Hudson too, I guess. Maybe Filterless Bear and Emil can swing a deal there. It's amazing. By the way, Emil, they should trade Hudson for McCarron and McCarron back on the blue line. Championship. It's amazing when you think of it, even with the great job Hughes and Gordon have done. We've had an undersized team now for 2 decades. All right, who sent me $69.99? VDoc. Oh, buddy. Thank you for the engagement, Grant. Been a blast all season, even when you're blasting me. Hey, man. We've, we kind of smoothed the waters as it went along. Agreed a lot more as the year went along. I think, hey, I finally got you, No, I'm just kidding. But have a pint or 2 with Rick, Blain, and Liam on me. Thanks for the chat members too. Good community here. Cheers, gents. Thanks, VDoc. That's mighty kind of you to do that. Yeah, we had our, but always, well, not always, because I did. Uh, I know you got a little perturbed about the VD venereal, but I'm glad you changed your handle to VDoc. It was a little easier to pronounce, and all good on my end. Hey, you're gonna keep show. I know you're a friggin' draft guy, and certainly want to talk free agency and all that. So we're gonna keep seeing you here, my friend. I do hope. I'm gonna keep them rolling. Uh, Thank you so much for the end of season generosity. It's quite it's really appreciated for sure. Uh, Bull Duke going to be great. Yeah, I could grade on some people. Um, he signs for more than Dobson, you did $50 to Grant, and if he signs for more than I do, yeah, business is business. I don't think anyone thinks Doc is worth a mid first, second, or even almost a fourth at this point. No, which is why you hang on to him. Oh, people are going back and forth about how much he signs for. Yeah. What's Dobson making? 9.5 mil? I don't know if he gets more than that. These are the upgrades I'd like. D isn't bad, but definitely add Reinbacher. Forge replace Line A. Yeah, that's true, eh? Line A. Gallagher, Texier, Valeno. So maybe 2 years from now they can really make some moves. Yeah, there'll be a couple of those gone. Next season, I hope to be a more frequent visitor to Habscast. Good. Well, you were frequent for a while there. Um, if you actually think Arbor is better than Gooley, yeah, I can't say I agree with that. Let's give Kirby another try. Do you still see him a top six? I don't know. Not on the club's got better pieces going forward, probably, Emil. It's hard to say top six. Shit. He was on the fourth line in the playoffs, so uh I really think we have to, you know, the positive here, if you want to try to find silver linings, is that you know, he was healthy at the end of the year, so that's good. Maybe the injury bug is finally the law of averages there. I'm a believer in laws of average, more so than injury prone, although you wonder with this guy. But what did he play here? Uh, so he missed what? 12 games. All right. So from the 20th of January until, so he played 1, 2, 3, 21, 39 games since 20th of January. That's better. He played um what? 78th game on, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24 straight games. Let's hope. Let's hope he's healthy. A good off season, one more year recovering from the knee. I still say it takes 2 years. Look at Cole. He had that shoulder surgery. All of a sudden, he was heading towards 40 goals. Shoulder surgery. He took a step back. Couldn't shoot quite like he could before. It's serious. It took him 2 years. You look at, knee injuries, takes 2 years, serious knee injuries. So I still say, uh, you know, he can't ask for the moon. Sign him under the league average, which will be over 4 million next year. If he's a good top nine player, that's a very fair value. I think he's probably a third liner. Well, Arbor is not better than Goalie. Let's just get that straight. Let's not forget, that Goalie hasn't played. Goalie has not played a heck of a lot of NHL games here, so you got to keep that in mind. Bolduc gonna be great. I saw some things from Bolduc. I saw more jam from him after the whistles and stuff too. I think he's starting to get the fact that, hey, I got to play. I have to play with a little more oomph in my game. Yeah, don't mind. Don't mind Bolduc. Wish they still had Mayu, but don't mind Bolduc. Oh, still smoking. It's gonna go play some NHL 26 and win the cup with Montreal. Yeah, you'll be smoking all right. Not gonna happen. Reinbacher with Hudson next year. I hope so, Murray. I'm hoping so. Do you think Bolduc has a future with the club? Absolutely. Grant, take a screenshot of my bet with a meal so you can get a donation and have proof. What's this? I'm not sure how. At what time was the? Give me a time. I can't go back through. Tell me what time it was. You said it at. Is the Habs draft position locked in? Yeah. Well, they ended up with more points. Well, no, Colorado will be 29. So the Habs will be 28, right? 30, 31 are the finalists, and then Ottawa drafting at 32. So Habs, I do believe, are picking 28th. Be locked in now. Colorado would pick 29 because they won the President's Trophy. Hmm. Don, that's a nice way of looking at it. Doc Caulfield, Newhook, Struble from the 2019 draft. Gems coming in: Reinbacher, Hage, Pickford, Zorowski. Keep the faith. Yep. You're getting ready to head her back there soon, my friend. B-Doc with the boom. Absolutely. I love those maroon. I love those maroon. Whenever I see that come up, I go, ooh. our friend in Scotland hasn't been around lately. Being dyslexic, I know how to spell Jackeye and didn't need to call him Wi-Fi for 2.5 years. Uh, perfect spot for Iggy. You know it. You've been following me, Habs for life. I just call him Iggy. It was about 30 minutes ago. Oh, okay. So you don't want to look it up either, eh? I'm the one going through. I'm the one running the show here. You want a screenshot? You're gonna have to tell me the exact time. Right side of Dobson, Reinbacher, and Jackeye would be better than what we had this season. Jackeye on the right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the top two scoring defensemen in the playoffs are who, Emil? Hudson and Quinn Hughes, right? What do they have in common? Just wonder who the second line center will be and who will Hughes add. Yeah. I don't believe the like McTavish, he sat out one game and there's all these gonna trade him. He sat one game. It was a message set. Gwenville likes freaking McTavish. Every coach loves McTavish. It was just a message sent. He's not going anywhere. Hischier. I see the rumors for Hischier. Why would they trade Hischier? And these rumors were when they still had their other GM, and now they got a new GM. You think the new GM's going to want to trade Nico Hischier? Probably not. I didn't say he was better than Gooley. Okay. Not sure why he said that then. I absolutely wish the best for Hudson and Doc. Scoring is not Hudson's issue. Let's see how he takes the NHL grind over the next few years. Yeah. I thought that the only cup winner gets the last pick. But only the cup winner. Well, Ottawa got the last pick in this year's draft, Kenny. Cup winner gets 31st. They gave him back the pick that they took away, but made it the 32nd pick. So this year, the cup winner, instead of getting the 32nd pick, they get the 31st pick. So Montreal, instead of picking 29th, going to pick 28th. I don't have a problem with that. Nothing like going on a podcast to gloat, eh? I'm caught up here, so any jerks gonna come on, they're gonna get kaboom. You're gone. Out of here. Wow. Really appreciate the generosity tonight on a night that the Habs lost, but it is the end of the season, and ended up having a pretty solid month. You guys help pay helped me pay off my new laptop here. It's gone smoothly, eh? Has there been any hasn't really been any jitters, has there? And I have like 10 windows open in Google, so this is a good sign. Uh, very happy about that. All players are team guys. It's the agent who want their piece of the pie. Yeah, that's true. Very true. It's been better than your previous provider, Grant. Yeah, better than Bell. Go figure, eh? Uh, I hope Demidov takes a team bargain. Hmm. Oh yeah, salaries are going to rise, and yeah, have a schedule you can send out. Where do we check to know a show is coming? Hmm. You not get notifications, Don, when a show is going to be on? I can't like it's kind of almost the off season here now. I'm certainly not going by a schedule. It's going to be spontaneous as always. I apologize for that, but that's the young lad kind of gets a precedence here in the dungeon with his gaming and stuff. So I can't, uh, he works for LCBO and his schedule's all over the place. So unfortunately, I have to be flexible. We're sharing this office space. So I'm not able to do a schedule. I have to be, I have to be fair with Troy and, uh, you know, I'll try to when I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. I always post links on Twitter and Blue Sky of when I'm doing a podcast, and if you click notifications, I do believe you get notified that there's a podcast coming up. But uh, you know, if there's a signing or a trade or I'll be on soon as I can be doing a show. So look for that. Um, I'm going to be doing lots of draft stuff. I'm going to be dedicating myself to the draft. There's going to be a lot of stuff on Patreon too, so I'll put that up. And Samurai Night was a good season. I will try to do more than the $2 I did tonight next time. Okay, every bit helps, man. For everybody that watched, donate $2, I'd be a rich man. uh, Sounds good. Thank you, and hey, appreciate that you keep things rolling during the game there too. Anybody that you probably get a few people to come and watch the pu- the shows. So um, have a good one, and we'll talk soon. Yeah, Dobson. Yeah, he'll come back. He'll bounce back from his injury there. Yeah. By the way, folks, we got really good numbers here tonight, but I don't think a lot of people have pressed the like button. That always helps. Every bit helps if you press the hype, if you press the like, all that stuff. It's good stuff. So please, please do hit the like button. Every bit is appreciated. Oh, excuse me. I am going to hit it. There's 54. We're up to a whopping 54 people that have liked liked it so far. It's not giving me the numbers here. Just hang on. I want to curious to see how many have watched. Oh, we've had 1,000. We've had 1,000 people tune in and 50 likes. So the typical 5%, 5% of the people, 1 in 20, hit the like button. Super chat about what are your off-season musts. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna need a little time to digest that, Samurai. I'll get into. I mean, that's what these future shows are for, right? If I give away all my off-season musts, then I can't do a show. It'll be a hot topic in one of, but I need a little time to research things, think about it, digest, you know, the playoffs. Uh, as you get closer to free agency, we'll have a better idea who's available. There's still players being signed and such, so yeah, I'll you know, I don't like to be hit with something like that and just give a off the cuff answer. I like to think about it and give a an informative one. So stay tuned for um, multiple shows that will be discussing very that very subject. Tuck is asking well over 10 million. Tuck, the guy that got 0 points against the Habs, you know, trade Hudson, but this guy that got was pointless against the Habs. Uh, you know, anyway, but he's tall. I mean, yeah, exactly. How about 10 million per year for Demi's potential? Well, uh, would you prefer Demidov, Robertson, or Ratnan? Age factor? Don't agents ask these questions? All right. Do you think Newhook is best suited on the third line? Yeah. Like as opposed to the second line? Yes. Alex Newhook's not a top six player on a cup winner, I don't think. Good third liner though. And kudos on his postseason. He was pretty solid. But still, it's he's never going to be a playmaker of any description. I don't think there's not enough creativity in his game to be a top six player going forward. I don't believe. Any core players this postseason worry you longer term? Cole finished strong with a bunch of goals, but I feel he was very hesitant and avoided contact a bit too much. I don't agree with that. They keyed on him. Everybody's everybody's point totals are down in the playoffs. Was he great? No, but it's his first year being a first liner for any length of time at you know for multiple rounds in an NHL playoff. Being keyed on, I mean, there's been a lot of players that don't their first go around uh, as a top line player that hey teams keyed on him, and you gotta learn from that. He'll come back next year. Wouldn't be surprised if you see a really strong playoff from him. Um, I don't get the I don't I don't go for the no, he was avoiding contact too much. I don't find that was the case. Understand cap going up and player agents will ask for the moon. However, our core is signed. Yeah. Well, again, as I talked about earlier, with all of these bargain contracts, it's tough. It's going to be tough for Demidov to come in, you know, as the what was he, the fifth highest scorer on the team, and say, "Oh, I want 2, 3 million more than 100-point scorer." You know, there's no guarantees that Ivan Demidov is going to be a 100-point scorer. Will he be? We hope so, but is it a guarantee? No, it's not. So after 1 year in the NHL, do you sign a guy to an $11 million contract that has 100-point scorer making 3 million less than that? Probably not. Gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for the agent to justify it. Uh, hey, do you want to win some cups or do you just want the money? Are you Kirill Kaprizov or are you you know are you a winner? And I look at uh, you know do I think Demidov's selfish? I don't get that impression. I think he's the opposite of that, and I don't see just like Lane Hudson. I don't see him, turn around saying, "Oh well, I want 3 million more than Lane Hudson or 2 million because the salary caps are going up." Well, sorry, young fella, don't see it. Yeah, fifth on the team in points. So, mm, 19 goal scorer. How many 19 goal scorers say, "Hey, I got to get 11 million, 10, 11 million"? Not that many. So, anyway, we'll see. Newhook was one of the few players that punched above his weight. He scored some nice goals, some key goals. So, you know, good third liner, I think, on a cup contender. At the end of the day, what, 2 assists? Do you want a top 6 forward with 2 assists? Like, would he end up with 9 points in 19 games? Ideally, your second liners are more than a half point a game players, right? Ten points, sorry. He had 10 points in 19 games, which is basically a half point every 2 games. There you go. Well, I think Demidov probably gets 9. Like, is that, not 8, not 7.5, not 11, not 10, but 9. We'll see. I don't see Newhook being a regular performer at the level he played in the playoffs, but as a third liner, I'll take it. Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a lot of there's a lot of average from Newhook too in the playoffs, but he scored some big goals. But if you take the whole of the 19 games, he had what? He had 4 very good games. He had maybe 4 good games. He had 4 okay games, and he had 4. What are your thoughts of Habs trading for his share? Yeah. Well, I did talk about it a bit earlier. They're descriptive, and I would say that um, I I doubt that his share gets traded, but that rumor is out there. So much for the rumors. Friend Mike from Next Level Hockey, Malkin, sign Malkin. Hey, no real surprise. He re-signed with Pittsburgh. It'd probably be the same thing with Sid the Kid too, right? Slav got less points than Slav's first 3 years. I don't quite understand that, Emil, but oh, okay. Demi got less points than Slav's first 3 years. Now the issue is that the cap is going up, so he might just make a lot more than Slav. Okay. Oh, it's 1:13 in the morning. I guess people are starting to trail off here. We got 89 tuning in. So, what mark do you give the Habs on the season? What's their grade? Oh, what's the grade for the Habs? Emil, Come on, let's put this in perspective, okay? Slav misses half of his first year, right? He comes into the league at 18 years of age. Demi turned 20 in his first year. And then, there are reasons why it took Slav 3 full years to beat Demi's first year point totals. Like, it's not cut and dried here. Like, how many more points by the age of 21 will Demi have than Slav had? It's probably not going to be a huge difference if you want to look at it that way too, right? B plus from Donnie. A plus plus plus. Emil. Okay, you guys. Let's get off of the Dobson. The contract. It is what it is. Whatever he gets, he gets. Donnie H says B plus. Barely expect him to make the playoffs, let alone Eastern Conference Final. Beat number 4, number 5 in the playoffs. Young guys took a step. The core all have a great season. Stovey stepped up. Solid A. Okay. Kenny says A as well. B plus from Donnie. Donnie H. B from Scorpion. A. Habs Life. B plus from Kev. Okay. I'm gonna. Descriptive says an A. They're ahead of the rebuild. On the rebuild, have made steady progress. Well, they found a number 1 goalie. I do believe. That's a good start. They've got good contracts here. Didn't find a second line center too, but Emil, you really like to argue, eh? Just debate. You could go, you get on a subject, and it's you work it, my friend. All right, I'm gonna say A minus. I'm gonna crack one more beer here too. Meal's driving me to drink. It's already not very cold, but it's the end of the season, boys and girls. Gotta take one for the team. Cheers. Maybe we'll do a 3-hour. We'll do a 3-hour tonight. Dedicated. Am I missing something on Demi's potential? The season is at least an A for this young team. B plus, more to come. I assumed the Hudson talk trading was a joke. I give him an A. Curious about Capman. Yeah. Cappy's got to come back in. Yeah. Sure, Emil. Let's get along. Just, I wish there was a little less back and forth sometimes. That's all. But hey, HF boards. I don't want I don't want it to be you know HF boards. Hey, we're almost back up to 100 here. By the way, if you're watching on X and 620 of you have been on recently, hop on over to the live chat here and get some words in edgewise. Grade low, Jets. Give room to grow. Donnie, we never know. Sometimes you're very positive. You say, oh, got to be more positive. Sometimes you're a little conservative, a little conservative. So, you know, you can teeter totter back and forth, just like all of us. I'm the same way. Sometimes I'm pretty positive. Sometimes I get a you know, little revved up. Sometimes I'm calm. Sometimes the sky is falling. Usually not, though. Uh, um, I did not think. I did not think that they would beat Carolina uh, as the series went along. It was pretty apparent that not having that second line center, not having a genuine, well, two pieces really on the second line. Demi was kind of on an island there. You know, yeah. Uh, Jake and Newhook got some points. Blah blah blah, but they're not. They just don't have the creativity, the vision to be with Demidov and you know um, they've got to upgrade second line. That's that's I think a key going forward here, and it was blatantly obvious in that round. And we'll see if the getting to the third round and then getting really beat. Maybe that's the best thing because on one hand, Kent and Jeff can say, "Look, we are contenders now. We are close," because that was their kind of their what they were saying, their reasoning for not making any deals after Dano. Well, we're not really ready to. Well, you kind of were. So uh, go for it now this off season. Make the deals that you think can maybe get you over the hump and get to the cup final and maybe win it all next year. So maybe this was the best case scenario when it comes to what the Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton are going to plan to do here in the off season. Again, I'm looking at the beer 9/10 full here. Mm, tasting the beer 9/10 full too. What a nice team, a treat to watch, debate, and discuss. Yep. A minus. Yeah. Well, same mark as me. Glad somebody out there, which is quite a bit different than a B plus there, Don. If you were a teacher, you'd understand that. Basically the same mark, right? Um, Lost point on goalie and D management, but at least goalie is settled for next year. I still feel the same after all these playoffs that I felt back in March. They need another big top six forward and a 2C and a big right D. Yep. Well, I think Reinbacher comes in next year. There's your big right D. They might add a veteran right D too. We'll see. I think you could see Struble moved in the off season just so they kind of balance things out with the right D and the left D thingamading. Might see Engstrom dealt as well. I do think the Canadians try to get a couple of move some extra assets, positions where they're kind of a position of strength and depth to try to fill the positions of need, uh, positions where they're a little thin, you know, i.e., top two center, second line center. He's lost been in two fights in his career. Descriptive. I wouldn't, two games out of what, hundreds? I wouldn't focus too much on two fights. Yeah. Oh no, they're not. Don't have to trade Hage. Jarosky. If you're gonna trade a top forward, Jarosky's the guy. Hage, no. He's close, and this team's close. He joins the team next year for the playoff run, and he contributes. Jarosky's at least 2 years, maybe 3 years away. He's the trade bait for a team whose window is open now. Quite obviously, they were the third team left in the league. 29 other teams were eliminated before the Habs this year. Jarosky's not coming and playing in the playoffs next year. Michael Hage will. Michael Hage, I'm saying it right now, will be on the Habs playoff roster next year, and he will help. Don't make mistake the teams like the Jets made. Get a real 2C ASAP. Someone age appropriate and qualified. Age appropriate. PG rating. I would feel more comfortable offering up Zarowski instead of Hage. There you go again, Ken. Read my mind. We're accomplishing more than expected ahead of schedule. Is the pressure put on by the staff and players themselves of early success and played better when relaxed and having fun? Is the pressure put on by the staff and players themselves of early success? I don't quite. I think it's getting late there. Apologies, but I don't quite understand your question there. They also need a better physical forechecking line. Yes. Should we consider firing MSL next year for his bad coaching during this series? That'd be a no. I'll go for an A minus. Good mark, Francois. Where have you been, my friend? The year gave me positive answers, but also question marks. Slav has issues in his game. I'm not sure will improve with experience. I think we're going to find Francois that he was nursing something. Decor not mean, etc. Caulfield in the playoffs. I think you're over judging. They'll have good playoffs in the future, especially Slav. At least our rebuild won't be like Sabres and a decade before a whiff of the playoffs. There you go. Love the kid. Agree. Not sure what you're referring to there. I gave them a high grade as they went from over the past 3 years. Conference final, anything in the A's is good for me. Good. I'm still hoping Hage changes his mind about Michigan during the summer. Hmm. Some others have. Oh, like in the past. Oh, okay. Man, did I was pumped. Man, was I pumped after game one. Lose four in a row. Win one, lose four in a row. Yeah. Well, was looking good there at one point, eh? Almost booking our Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Hage, love the story, kid player. Right. Well, that's part of it too. Like I just, his story. I just, man, you can't trade him, man. You know, frig. What happened with his dad and his dad being a huge Habs fan, all that. Turn around and trade the kid. Uh, I know, and it's not just he's a hell of a player, and he's way more. He's a lot closer than Jarosky, And by the way, congratulations to Alex Jarosky winning the KHL Rookie of the Year. I don't know that his value will ever be higher. I know, I loved seeing that story from I don't know if it was Elliot or Darren, one of the two, I do believe, saying, "Oh, NHL executives saying steal of the draft." Love seeing that stuff because I watched Jurowski maybe as much as anybody this year, and I watch players away from the puck, and uh, mm, you know, love his ceiling. He's got a nice ceiling, but the floor. I don't know that Jurowski will be a top six NHL player on the Habs, but there's teams out there apparently that think for sure this guy's going to be top six forward, and that's a very appealing asset to some teams that maybe haven't done their homework completely on him. And there are teams out there like that, that don't the pro scouting and isn't always they kind of they cheat a bit on it. Maybe there's a team that thinks, "Oh, frig, the Starowski kid's going to be a superstar. We'll give you the moon." Well, there's questions there. He might be. He might be a productive player. There's also a chance that he won't be a regular. So I would trade. I would sell high on Jarowski right now, personally, and keep Hage for sure. If it has to be a choice of the two, and I mean, if there's teams that say, "Oh, we think Jarowski has more value than Hage," that's fine by me. Hage for me was the best player in the World Juniors. Had a solid year, made leaps and bounds in his defensive play, got better in faceoffs, looks more and more like a center. Uh, right now, after his progression as the year went along, I know early on in the year, I questioned whether he's got more long term, whether that he would be second line center ahead of Kapanen, but uh, uh, I've 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 flipped my opinion on that. I think he's got more of a chance now of being the second line center than uh, than Kapanen. Better skater for sure, for sure. Better puck skills. Maybe sees the ice a little better with the puck. A little more offensive upside and creativity than Cappy, and will if he keeps developing away from the puck, can be uh, can be solid defensively too. So and a little more grit to his game, I think, at the end of the day than Cappy too. So I've uh, I've altered my opinion on that and think that if you want to project a player within the organization, it could be the number two center in the future. I lean more towards Hage than Cappy. Um, but that's not etched in stone either. We can see. I like to be careful with that stuff and not pigeonhole players because there's always there there's always surprises. As in a podcast last week or whatever, at 23 years of age, and Cappy's still only 22, but William Karlsson, when he was 23 and had scored 9 and 8 goals in Columbus, would you projected that he would be the number one center on a cup finalist the following year and score 43 goals for Vegas? You would not. So I I like to not be too emphatic about um, predicting players' futures. I try not to focus too much on the what could have been. Sorry, Grant. I meant wild card was a surprise. I think players we got want a cup as badly as us fans. Yeah, yeah. Okay. 67. Is that how many likes we're up to? And were you number 67, Marriage? You're late to the party. Sabres fan here. Heads up, Habs. Okay. Cheers. Hey, if it's any consolation there, um, if you had beat the Habs, I was going for Buffalo all the way. So I hope you make the playoffs next year again and have some success in the future. I like that Buffalo made the uh, made the playoffs. Hey, one of the two teams had to win, right? Just happened to be the Habs, but you gave them a hell of a go, and you could be happy about your future too. And yeah, we'll keep our heads up. I'm an big Oslin fan. You could have used him in the playoffs. And Hellenius, hey, kid looked good. So there's some nice pieces coming too. And Owen Power, hey, he had a good playoff. Give him another year or two. Sometimes these 6'6" defensemen just take a little time. He'll be a good one. Because of Hage's story and his play, I agree with you, Grant. They won't trade him. No, I don't see them trading him. Don't know if you're already answered. I just joined the show, but what's your opinion about Marty St. Louis? It didn't make change to his lineup. Oh yeah, no, I haven't commented on that at all, Matt. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he went that route. He was too busy coming up with philosophical mantras. It was what I came up with. He's too busy on, bounce forward. To get over the mountain, you need or whatever, like all of these. I don't know. I guess the media likes it, but I would have, you can't look at the mountain. You just got to look at what's in front of you and stay present. Confucius say. Anyway, go watch the start. Watch the start of the podcast, Matt, and you'll see my opinions on that. I had a good little rant, but it's out of my system now, and we're moving on. Marty's not going anywhere. He's going to learn from this, just like the players will, just like the GM will, and hopefully um, prosper. All right. Geez, I thought, usually when I go on these longer marathons, I get a little bit of little support from the folk here for doing a marathon. I got the 69 from VDoc, and that was like an hour ago. Well, nature's calling, so I'm gonna have to put up the BRB sign for a minute here. Ah, that was a load off my mind. All right. I'm gonna go for a few more minutes, but we're gonna have to get some shut eye. Saturday morning, I always there's always a list of things to do. Get these babies back on. All right. My nighttime meds in full effect. Would have been easy for Hughes to make a trade, but team was probably asking for a Hage and Zurowski. Yeah, okay. Well, nice to see people agreeing with me here. I never have an issue with people agreeing with me. Maybe Verbeek prefers Z over Seneca. Yeah, trading for Seneca, that'd be good. Yep. Yeah, Hage, Thomas, Demidov would be a good second line, no doubt about it. Maybe Verbeek prefer. Oh, okay, sorry. Nice. That's why we tune in. I agree 100%. Hage. Turn the Hage. Uh-oh. Getting too much beer in me. I'm starting to sing. And I'm sure if the Habs had a chance of drafting Crosby, would have been huge for him as well. Yes, Troy Crosby was a good. good stuff. I like sometime in the between the 2 and 3 hour mark, somebody to overtime pay. I consider it. Thank you, Don. Appreciate you and Kirby. Go Habs, go. Shirosky it is. Thanks, man. Um, Confucius also said to press the mountain. Confucius say. I thought Cappy has an Adam Lowry potential. I don't mean the same type forward, but a very valuable mid-6 guy with less body, but still not small. Mid-6 guy. Got to get a little faster. We saw, I don't know what happened with the skating at the end of the year, but he was laboring a bit. He's got to work. He's got to get stronger and a little quicker, and then I think he'll be fine. Love his smarts. He's a smart player. It just ended up chasing the play a little too much. Just curious, how much value does Cappy have? Part of a package here. Cappy, Zarowski, Engstrom. Nice starting point for a team, maybe. Well, Don, I mean, there's that possibility too. If they can't get a 2C without overpaying, yeah, maybe. I mean, hey, they got 106 points this year without a legitimate second line center. So who's, why can't they get there, make the playoffs, wait for Hage, you know? So yeah, again, Hughes is in a situation here where he doesn't have to panic. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a 2C here in the off season, but that 2C could be Hage, and he might be ready for that by the end of his upcoming season. It's possible. So if we see the progression we saw in the past year from Hage again next year, I'd say ready to step into to the lineup and be a second liner at least. I don't know if maybe asking him to as you just jump into the NHL. Well, you're going to play as 2C in the playoffs. Maybe that's asking too much, but maybe not. Okay, I've given my opinion on Cappy here, Emil, not 20 minutes ago. So Hugo Bo draft. Hugo Bo. Yeah. I don't like Bobrov being. I don't consider Bobrov ahead of Marty Lapointe for draft. Like I'd say Marty Bo, LeBeau. Uh, the other two aren't really that. It's going to be Lapointe and Bobrov. You know, having been around the draft and scouting, it, it's the it's the scouts, not the freaking GM, and certainly not the president that decides who's getting drafted. So for me, it's LeBeau draft and Marty at the front. Marty's the guy that's been here 5 years. Marty's the guy that picked Caulfield and Gooley and you know Dobish and Kapanen, Struble. Like since he came on board uh, with the club scouting, He's done a solid job. Trust me. Lot of good picks. Coach on down. The series was a write off. Learn from it. Get better moving forward. Yep. Marty's just a coach as the team is young. Yeah. Emil, you've had lots of thoughts tonight. Cappy is definitely an NHL player, but if you can use him in a package to upgrade another position, I'd be okay. Yeah, oh yeah. Jay coming in 3 hours in to say what an embarrassing performance. Jay, we got over it in the first hour, my friend. Now we're looking ahead. Not looking behind. Past is the past. We're looking ahead. Not looking in the rear view. But yes, it was an embarrassing performance. Page has a good season at sea and wins the Hobie. Yeah, I don't know that winning the Hobie will have any bearing on whether he's the 2C or not. There'll be other factors more important, but I get where you're coming from. Do I think Hage has to be over 55% on his draws? Well, we've seen here, Ken, you know, who took the draws and I mean, Newhook's at 40% for his career, and he was taking draws instead of Evans, even at center ice to start games and stuff. Newhook, the 40% guy. So it'll all be. It's pretty apparent that the Canadians are big on the situational draws, and you know, if and when Hage comes in, if there isn't a 2C, and he's kind of being tasked with being that, there'll be another guy that can take draws on that line. I'd be pretty, you know, maybe it's New Hook, but um, yeah, no situational with it. So I think the club ideally we would like to have, and most clubs do, at least 5 or 6 forwards that have played center. Center's their natural position, and you have some moved over to the wing. New Hook was a natural center. Doc was a natural center. You know, Cappy is natural center that's been moved to the wing. Tekshay was a center. He's a winger now. Uh, you know, so I won't really watch finals. Hate every team but the Habs. Oh, every team but the Habs, and don't bandwagon. I won't be cheering for Vegas that much. I know. I don't know how much of this final I'm going to watch, honestly. Carolina bores me to tears, and I ain't cheering for Vegas. So I hope Oliver gets some place. We can get a fair chance. Well, he got a fair chance for 70 games. He played with Demidov, was second line center. So, oh, there's Ken. Reading my mind again. Where does Bjork go? Habs going to move up, pick him. There's your second line center right there. You heard it here first. All right, 1 minute more to go here, and we're at 3. I think I'm going to pack it in, folks. I can't do all night. I'd like to, but ain't been enough coin coming in to inspire me to go any longer in 3 hours. I'm losing my voice. Ass is getting sore. This chair. Might have to upgrade it here. Let's all play the trap and my hockey boring again. Rest in peace, Claude Lemieux. Thank you, Coroner. Cappy getting benched had nothing to do with him being European. It's because he's been ineffective the last 6 weeks. That's fair. What would that cost to move up in the draft that far to get Bjork? Yeah. Well, stay tuned, Ken. We'll have some really good draft shows. I'll get Rocco and Darren on. My co-chief scouts, Rick and Blain. Bunch of other draft necks, and we'll be doing a bunch of draft stories coming up. And stay tuned. Should be good. And we'll get some good draft articles too on Patreon, Habscast Patreon. If you're not subscribed, I would suggest you do so now. If you get a membership to on YouTube here, I will gift you a free Habscast Patreon subscription. So for $4.50 or $5, whatever it is, a month, you get a free $5 a month Habscast Patreon subscription. Don't think you can beat that bargain, eh? Big buff, yeah. Don't think so. All right, folks. Listen, it's 2:00 here. 3 hours in. I gotta go. Thank you again for a great season. Thank you for tuning in to Habscast this calendar year. This NHL season. I started this, of course, in September, and it's been fun. Did I, almost made it to June, guys? Uh, that's incredible. So I really press the like button. Okay, let's get that up over 100. And when I wake up in the morning, I want to see 100 plus likes. That would be much appreciated. Hit the hype button if you can. It's on your phone. My voice is starting to go. Maybe yelling at the TV a couple of times too many tonight. that was not pretty. But at the end of the day, future's bright for this club. I'm proud of them making the conference finals, and here's to bigger, better things. Let's get together, talk about the draft, talk about free agency, trades, all that good stuff over the next month. Let's keep this momentum rolling here on the greatest Habs community, I think, on the internet. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your patronage all season, and hope to see you. Um, you know, as the summer unfolds here, and there'll be lots of intrigue and lots to talk about. Thank you. Have a pleasant night. It was a great season to talk hockey, a great day to talk hockey, and we will see you soon. Biking, great year, Grant, I'd say, and awesome insights for us Habs junkies. I, for one, cannot wait to see Reinbacher. Some changes, I'm sure. Habs did well. Keep up the great work. Go Habs, go. That's a nice ending statement. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and good night.